Hey guys, what's up? It's Coming Saturday. Today's video, what we're looking at is the concept of the heavy elbow and the elbow structure in Wing Chun. Okay, and this applies to other arts too, but particularly Wing Chun is extremely important. Okay, Wing Chun is an elbow-driven art. Okay, so it's really all about having that elbow structure. Okay, so everything you're doing, that elbow has to be down and you had to have a forward energy. When I do my shifting, when I go forward, when I'm stepping in, I gotta have the elbow. If I'm doing a cutting punch, for example, that elbow is what's driving me in. Okay, I'm not thinking with the hand. I'm thinking with the elbow. It's almost like I could cut my forearm off, and my elbow will still kind of get me in there. It's gonna go in, right? And that's the structure of the entire body. If I get that elbow structure, and that heavy elbow, elbow down position, that will kind of generate power and connect my entire body. Okay, so it's extremely important when like you'll see here, everything kind of goes as one unit. Okay, so a couple of things with the elbow is the thing you don't want is you don't want to have a collapsed elbow and you don't want to have a flying elbow. Okay, collapsed elbow would mean it's right against the body. Okay, to collapse like this. All right, you don't want to. You always have to have roughly about a fist and a thumb distance between your body and your elbow. See, like here, about a fist and a thumb distance, approximately. See, okay? All right. Okay. And also, you don't ever want it coming out like this. Okay. There is a movement called a bong sao, which is very misunderstood. People do that, but the thing is that it's only there for a second, and you get it down right away. You don't stay like that. Okay. It's a transitional movement. Okay, like if you have to yield to a strike of some kind, yield and then come back with something else. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so yes, that's where you would use it, but you use it if it makes sense. Okay, you don't try and force it like I've seen some people try and do. Okay, all right. So the elbow structure. Now, how do you go about developing that? Okay, I can tell you this is that if you don't develop that, and you don't get that elbow connection, that elbow structure combined with the forward energy, you can do this stuff for 10 years and you'll still suck, okay? Because without that, it doesn't mean anything. Nothing means anything. I've seen people before who do all the forms, and they know all the stuff, and they make all kinds of noise and whatever, but, you know, I don't really care about that. I look at their feet, I look at their hips, I look at their elbow, all right? And if I don't see good structure there, I don't really care what the rest of the body is doing. It's garbage, okay? You know, if you don't have a structure, you got nothing. Okay, so don't be swayed by people who are doing patty cake on the dummy and doing all these like demos, things that okay. If you don't see good elbow structure, good hip structure, right, and good feet and good body unity, whatever you're seeing is going to be garbage. Okay, and you see the same traits in other martial arts too. Okay, there's a certain oneness in the various arts. Okay, any good martial art is going to have the same traits actually. Okay, so anyways, so how do you go about developing that? Okay, the first time you're introduced to this, the first training method for it is actually in the first form of Wing Chun. This is called the Silun Tao. Okay, Silun Tao means little idea. All right, in Cantonese, and you know the idea is that it begins as a little idea, and from there it can be expanded and trained and become a big idea. Right. But in the first section, extremely important part of the form of the whole system actually, is what you're doing is that I'm bringing in my chamber position here. I'm bringing my forearm out, my hand and forearm out, and as I'm doing so, I'm scraping my rib cage here. See, and I'm focusing on this outer edge of my forearm. I want to get that in center. Okay. Okay. Then from here, come there, and as I'm going back, even when I'm going back, I'm thinking forward. It's like a faucet which is turned on, right? A faucet which is shut off. There's still pressure there, right? Even though it's shut off and the water's coming up, there's still pressure. Okay. Okay, and I'm focusing on this edge of my hand here and forearm. Okay. Then I'll turn into this is called fuksao. Okay, and now I kind of shut my hand off and I'm only thinking about my elbow and wrist going forward. And again, that elbow is driving me forward. I come back, and again, same thing. So see all these movements, you see, and then I would do it again. All these movements involve the elbow structure. The first movement involves the structure of the elbow. You have to have the elbow structure coming out here. Okay, you turn, elbow, you're going back, but your elbow wants to go forward. Okay, right, and then I come in again with a futsal, come out again with a futsal. The elbow is driving it out here. I shut my hand off, so the elbow's driving forward. I come out here, boom, right here, and then finally at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do pass out to the side here. Still have the elbow structure, back to the center. I'm not going over here. Side, center, and then forward. Okay, and you see how the elbow is present as a part of all those movements. Okay, that first section, okay, needs to be trained. I mean, countless times, like as the rest of your life, basically. Okay, it's extremely important. It's a form of meditation, and it really helps you develop that structure. Okay, far too many people do not spend sufficient time on that. They just want to go past it and get to all the fun stuff and all the cool stuff, and they want to use swords and they want to use this and do all this stuff. Okay, I'm telling you, without that good elbow structure, that proper training of that forward energy and elbow structure, nothing you do will have any substance at all. Okay, it'll all be garbage unless you have that elbow structure. Remember that. Okay, so that's the thing, right? In martial arts, you're only as good as your basics. Okay, so the sequence, let's go through it once. Now, of course, you repeat on both sides of your body, both arms, but we're only gonna do one. Okay, so it comes out here, comes out here. Now, of course, there's an entire form that goes with it, but we're just gonna do this section for now. Okay, comes out here. I'm focusing on the outer edge of my forearm, so it's in center here. This is called a Chun, and that little second movement is a Jutsu as it comes back down. Now I'm going back as I'm thinking forward. Now I don't release it, and it does go forward, but my hand is shut off, so the elbow energy. This is done 3 times. Okay. Then again. Okay. Then again. Right. Yeah, so every time I come back, when I'm thinking forward, then I just release it and it does go forward, okay? And finally, here, it comes back one last time. Okay, Paksao, center, and then palm. Up, do one more Hyunsa, and then back, and then I will repeat. Okay, so that's the first section. So that is extremely important in developing the elbow structure. Okay, however, there are some other things which can help as well. Okay, and give you, because you can never work on your elbow too much. Okay, elbow structure, elbow energy. Okay, and obviously, I want you to see my elbow and my structure here, but I'm in my stance as well, my Wing Chun stance. Okay, so I'm rooted. This is my regular height standing up, but you see me down here the whole time because I'm in my stance. Okay, all right. So there are some ways that you can also train it in addition using some equipment. Okay, now I've got 2 things here. I have rings and I have resistance bands. Okay, now traditionally, now these rings, they're not made anymore, I think, but there was a guy in White Plains, New York, named Stefan Korum, and he made these rings called the butterfly rings, right? And I find, and it's a bit like the rattan ring, right? Only instead of having a single ring, you got 2 of them actually. So you can it's quite a lot of possibilities actually for training here, right? Yeah, and these are very heavy rings, okay. But I wouldn't use it for that purpose actually. The way I use it actually is to simply like the Shaolin rings. You know, you've seen the 36th chamber of Shaolin with Gordon Liu, and he had the rings in the beginning, right? And that is a kind of training which they use a lot in particularly Southern martial arts to kind of give some weight to your forearms and things. Okay, so when you take off the rings, you've got that extra power there. Okay, but in order to develop that elbow energy structure, you do the same thing, but you do it with this. See? So I'll just take each movement, right, and go here. And because you have this here, your hand is able to stay relaxed because it's on your forearms and your wrist. It's not on your hand, right, itself. Okay, it's here. So that really helps. So you literally make your elbow heavy. You see, you want to have a heavy elbow. You literally make it heavy. You see, it's here. See? So I'm doing the same thing, but with my heavy elbow, okay? Literally heavy elbow, okay? And bang, okay? So that's one way of doing it, okay? Another way, now one problem with having weight is that, I mean, gravity only goes down, okay? And if you've got weight, yes, you can train it for energy, but you're also fighting downward energy as well. Okay, that's just the nature of it because it has weight to it. So you're fighting downward energy and you're going forward. Okay, it's all right. It still works. Okay. However, in some ways, resistance cables in some ways work better because it's only forward. Because the resistance only goes this way because the nature of the band here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, now this is a pretty long band here. It's about as long as my entire reach here, my wingspan here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here. I'm going to wrap it around my cross behind my back here. Okay. All right. And here, but now I'm going to do here. Now I do have to hold it in my hand, obviously, somehow, but my hand's open. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and go over and over again like this. See? You don't have to worry about closing your fists. Just get the elbow structure. See? Rubbing your elbow, rub your forearm rubs along your rib cage, and remember, focus on that outer edge of your forearm, the outer edge. Okay? That will get it in your center line. Okay? So when you can step with it. See, so if I do step through footwork, do not let the elbow structure collapse. Okay, always have that structure there. Remember, fist and thumb distance between your elbow and your body. Okay, so if I come forward, boom, come here, boom, boom, and boom, okay, and that structure that you develop from this will help you. So when you, with the cable, so when you take away the cable, obviously if you can do it with the cable, then doing it without the cable is a lot easier, isn't it, right? So, and this helps to also train sensitivity, because you know what it feels like to have pressure, you know, that you have to fight against, okay? And you feel something, you will know you have that structure to go through. So, now, it doesn't mean you force your way through. If you meet a very strong force or something, you need to give way. Well, that's fine. It could turn into like a bong sao, or I could just dump it entirely and come here, right? Come here. I could do that too. Okay, but regardless, having the elbow structure and having that forward energy and having the elbow sensitivity, that's what will allow you to actually be able to use this stuff. Okay. All right, so there you go. This skill, this attribute of having the heavy elbow and the elbow structure, this is probably maybe the single most important attribute in Wing Chun. Well, you know, actually that's not true. Having forward energy and aggressiveness, that's the most important attribute. But physically, this is probably the most important attribute, because if you have this, everything else falls into place. All right. If you've got very strong legs, you know, very strong rooted, but your elbows are flying out here, it's not going to do you any good. Okay? Or if your elbows are collapsed, it won't do you any good. Okay? Having this structure is so important. Okay? So the drill I showed you here from the ceiling tile form, okay, that must be done hundreds, thousands of times. All right? It must be done so many times that you're sick of it. and that you don't know how to do it any other way. Okay, and then you do it a couple hundred times more. Okay, and then you keep doing the rest of your life. Okay, this is a lifetime practice, and these skills, you never outgrow the need for the basics. Okay, this once you drill, it doesn't matter how advanced you get. Okay, these drills must be done over and over and over again as long as you practice Wing Chun. Okay, it never ends. Okay, and again, okay, don't be fooled by people who do all this fancy garbage and they look all this flash. Okay, if you see their elbow structure and their elbows are flying out or clasped, whatever, and they don't have good hips and good feet and good body unity, it's garbage. Okay, absolute garbage. Okay, I watched the movie Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and in one scene he's using the wooden dummy. The actor Jason Scott Lee, he's a good actor. I like him. Okay, he's a good actor. But that wooden dummy work, that was shit. All right, just absolute shit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I mean, he got in good shape. All right, and he looked great. And but that wooden dummy, man, that was absolute shit. Okay, so don't be fooled. Don't be swayed by just like all this flash stuff. Okay, look at things that may be a little boring, all right, and not flashy, but that's what actually will separate people who are truly skilled from people who are just show off experts and things. Okay, all right. So I hope you found this useful. Do these drills. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you soon.